Hello everyone, this is the day 12 of the Integration Hub training, and this is the continuation part of the day 11 where we actually updating, or whenever we are adding one attachment, it did not checking that this attachment is present to the ServiceNow or not, and it's directly actually inserting to the ServiceNow. For example, if we go back to the story and if I open the story that is created from the ServiceNow to the JIRA, so this is Rohit JIRA testing that we have created. And right now you can see this is 3 attachment we have, right? But if we simply update one of these, let's say, and even the short description one, what will be happen? It will simply add 2 more attachment to this story without checking that these attachment are already present to the ServiceNow or not. So let's fix that issue first. So let's refresh that. I think it should be attached there. And you can see the 5 attachment is showing right now. So 3 plus the 2 more attachment that is already showing here. Okay, so these 2 are latest one, and the you can see these 2 are created right now. To solve this issue, what I'll do that I have created one table called external tracker, if you recall that. So this is the external tracker I have created, and I have actually cleaned up whole thing here. Okay, now what I will do that, you can see that I have API name, internal ID, attachment ID, endpoint, and right side I have external ID and external attachment ID. So these fields are present. What I'll do that whenever I'm going to insert or copy that, I'll add these details here. Okay, so let's do that first. So let me open to the flow designer. So this is the flow designer. I'm going to open that, and in this flow designer, what I'll do that, before I'm going to let's go back to these actions, flow. So this is the inbound request issue update, which normally does that, which you can see the lookup record. It look up to the story, and then once we find out the story, it is saving the attachment based on this attachment ID, right? So it is lookuping that story and saving that, right? So what I'll do that, I'll add one more step here. Okay, so I'll plus sign, then lookup record. I'll look up first. On which table I'll look up? I'll look up to this external tracker table with that external ID and external attachment ID. Okay, once if I am able to find out that, then it is not a new attachment, I'll just ignore that. Okay, so let's do that. So I'll go to this external tracker table, and then I'll find out 2 things based on 2 things. One is the external ID, and external ID will be that JIRA issue ID, and external attachment ID is nothing but which will become from the for each loop called this ID. So if I am able to find out that, so I'll also check that do not fail on error. I'll just check that and then done that. So if it is find out, so I'll just query to this external tracker, and if the record is find out, I'll do nothing else. So if I'll put the flow logic, if this lookup status is error, it means that it did not find out any record. What I'll do, I'll look up this story table, I'll move there. So these 2 I'll move there. Okay, I'll look up this, and then I'll attach some attachment here. Okay, and then after that, after attachment saved, I will do some more action. What action I'll do that, I'll go and then create record, search and create record. On which table I'll create the record? After successfully save the attachment into the ServiceNow, I'll create a record under external tracker table. Which all field I will set that. First I'll set that external attachment ID plus external ID. These 2 will come from external attachment ID will come from for each loop called ID, and then external ID is the issue ID that will come from trigger record issue ID, and then I will set that called internal ID. Internal ID is nothing but the ServiceNow ID, so I'll store that ServiceNow sysID from these second lookup story record and then sysID, and then I need to store that ServiceNow sysID, so I'll put that attachment ID, which is nothing but the ServiceNow attachment sysID I'll get from this ServiceNow attachment ID. Once, let's understand the flow one more time. I am receiving a call from that third party or the JIRA. First, I'll do a for each loop. First, I'll check that is that present to this my external tracker table or not. If it is present, I'll do nothing. Okay, it means that if the record is find out successfully, I am not doing anything. If it is not able to find out, I'll look up the record on the story table. I'll find out the story record. I'll save the attachment to the story, and then I'll create an external record onto the table. So let's activate that. And if I remove all, I'm just removing all these attachment from here at that moment. And you can see task number action is mandatory, so 5. So task number, so we need to put that lookup story active. So now our flow is activated. Now what I'll do, for example, I'm going to update these issue here from this JIRA side 1, 2, and I just updated that. What will be happen? It should initiated our flow execution. Let's see. So it's initiated that just now. So we'll open that. You can see it have a 2 attachment, and you can see the first 2 attachment are not able to find out. So this attachment are not able to find out under external tracker. So what it will do, it will create a record. It will look up to the story, it will create a record, and then finally it is going to be create a record under external tracker. So if I go back to this external tracker right now, I can see I have 2 record. You can see that these 2 record are there. One, this internal, this one is nothing but call our story sysID. So this is the story sysID. You can see that F77349. And then this is the attachment sysID. This is the external ID is nothing but our issue ID, and then this is the issue attachment ID. Now if I go back to this next one, you can see both are the same, but the external attachment ID are different. Okay, and this sysID are different right now. Now what will be happen if we refresh that? There should be 2 attachment right now. You can see this, there is a 2 attachment right now. And you can see these 2 attachment are showing right now. And if I scroll down, these 2 attachment are showing right now. Okay, and now what will be happen if we attach one more attachment? Let's say I'm attaching one more attachment. I have just attached one more attachment. What will be happen? This time the JIRA is going to be sent 3 things. Okay, first attachment, second attachment, and third attachment. And it will do what? It will go to this external tracker table and it will find out 2 matching, and then what will be happen? It will create the third record. You can see it's create the third record. Okay, so if I go back to the flow designer execution, you will be able to find out that it's just now initiated. And then if you see that the first record, it find out the record, so it did not do anything. Second record, if I go to the second record, it's also find out and it did not do anything. And then third record, it did not find out under lookup record, and it's created under this attachment is saved and create a lookup record table. So if we go back to the external tracker, you can see there is right now 3 record or 3 attachment is showing right now. And if we refresh that, our story, you can see it will have only 3 attachments. So it did not take it's actually take the incremental attachment update. So you can see the old attachment are did not repeated and attaching here. So this way I can prevent that repeated attachment coming from the JIRA. Now it's time to add something from the ServiceNow, and that should cascade back to the JIRA. So that's also another steps. Okay, so let's do that. For that, what I'll do, I'll go back to these actions. under this action you can see the JIRA send attachment that we have created earlier. By mistake I created under this JIRA application, under JIRA application, but this is our action that we have created in our earlier class, and it's a custom action we have created, right? And it's need two things. One is it's need that issue key, which is nothing but the JIRA key, and another is the attachment ID. So these two things we needed, and then we'll be able to send the attachment from ServiceNow to the JIRA. So let's do that. So what I'll do, I'll go back to the flow designer and I'll go to this flow. If I show match with active true and published, so we don't have any we don't have any updation of or story updation. We don't have any flow. I'll go and create a flow. So let's say that JIRA add trigger record update. So whenever the record is going to be updated, this time it is going to be initiated that. Okay, so I'll put that table called rm_story table. Okay, and then trigger time it's for every update, and click done. So what will be happen, every story is getting updated, this flow is going to be initiated. What it is going to do, that it is going to be first lookups to the attachment table. So let's do that. So I'll go to this action, and then so whenever I'm going to attach something into the story, it is actually a update. So whenever I'm going to attach something, it will go to the sys attachment table and find out all this attachment associated with this story. Okay, so for that what I'll do, I'll go to this flow, and then I'll go to this lookups record, and then which table I'm going to lookups, I'm going to lookups to that attachment table. So I'll go and query to this attachment table. So sys_attachment table, and then what will be the condition, the table name will be rm_story, and table sys_id will be this record sys_id. Okay, and it's a lookup records. It means that it will be able to find out multiple records. So I'll do a for each loop here. I'll go flow logic and then for each. I'll for each on this lookup record. So I'll click that and then select this lookup record. So it will do for each on the lookup records, and after that, first thing first, we'll go and check with the external tracker table that is there any attachments present on corresponding this record or not. If not, then we are going to pass this, or we are going to send that, right? For that what I'll do, I'll go and then find out that lookup one. So this is the lookup record, and top one is the lookup records. So lookup record return one record, and lookup records return multiple records. So on which table we are going to query that? We are going to query to that external table. So external tracker table. So we'll select that, and then first we'll put that call attachment ID. What should be the attachment ID? Attachment ID should be that will come from the for each record, and then sys_id. We'll get that, and then I'll put that internal ID. Internal ID is nothing but our story record sys_id, so that we'll find out that. So if it is find out in this table, I'll just select the don't fail on the error and done. So if it is find out on this table, we are not going to do anything. If it is not able to find out, we are going to send that, right? We'll click plus sign, if logic, if, and then we'll select the lookup records status is error. So if it is not able to find out onto this table, we need to be sent the attachment to this particular table. So we'll go to this and then call the send, and we'll go to the JIRA under send JIRA sent attachment. This one is a custom action that we have created. Through this we are going to send the attachment to this JIRA board. So let's do that, and we need to pass the issue key. How do we get the issue key? We'll get from this here. We have a key, right? So we can pass that. Okay, so we'll use that here. So issue key is issue key. Let's put this on this way. So we'll get, and find out this trigger record story, and then I'll put that key here. Again, I'll do one thing. I'll go and then story record, and then I'll find out that what is the field name called key. So you can see u underscore key is the field name, so we'll have to pass that. So we'll search with that key and we are going to pass that. And then attachment ID is nothing but the sys ID. So we'll go to this for each record and then we'll pass this sys ID. I'm not sure we need to pass that key or ID. I mentioned that issue key, but I'm thinking that it should be needed that ID. So let's find out that later. I'll do, and then I'll go again the create record, which after sending the attachment we should store into this immediately. We should store to this our external tracker table. So we'll go and then find out that external tracker table. So we'll select that external tracker, and then we'll go to this table called attachment ID, which is nothing but this for each record sys ID, and then we'll select that internal ID, which is nothing but this story sys ID, and we'll find out that external ID, which is nothing but the key one or ID, and external attachment ID, which we'll get from here. So we'll go, and we're actually not getting, but we should get and then store there. Okay, so we should get somewhere from there and then we should store there. Okay, now if I open this JIRA send attachment one, this issue key, it's going to be sent call this key and then attachment. So you can see this is the attachment sending one, which is the multipart, and after sending that we should store this information. We should get some information. So you can see the JSON parser, it's returning some array object, and it is returning few information. So you can, if I collapse that, let's see what all information we are getting. So we are getting self ID and file name, and then all these things we are getting. So we need to update that. So we'll go to this output, and then we'll put that ID, and we need that ID. So we'll go, and then this is the attachment ID we'll get from root array. So as you can see that it's the type of the array, and under this array it have that ID, file name and key, all this stuff. So what I'll do, I'll go to this edit again, and then I'll put that called array, and then array object. Under this array object you can see that we have another called ID. So we'll go to this and put that called ID, and name will be ID, something like that, and it's a string. Go and edit execute, and then I'll go to this JSON root and root array. I'll just match that, and then I'll publish that. Okay, so let's publish this action and go back to this our flow one, and here you can see I'm just sending that attachment, and then after that I'll just refresh this, because we just published this action right now. I'll just simply refresh this, and then I'll do a for each loop. So I'll go because it's returning in an array, so I'll need to be for each loop, and I'll go to this JIRA attachment and this one, because this is a for each loop, so I need to put that. And after that I'll go to this external tracker here, and then I need to be mapped with that called external attachment ID, right? So I need to be mapped there. So click that and pass this called for each root array, and then I need to be put ID and done. So it's done. Now what I'll do here, here we are passing actually called key. Instead of key, I'll pass that ID. So I'll go and uh, go here, story, and then I'll pass this ID. Okay, and activate that. So this flow will be also for sending the attachment, and previous flow is receiving the attachment from the ServiceNow, right? So this flow is going to be sent any attachment whichever you are going to attach to the from the ServiceNow. So if any story updated or if you attach anything on the story table, it will go to the the attachment table and it will do a for each loop. Then once it get the attachment, it will go to this external tracker table and find out that corresponding record is present or not. If it is present, you are doing nothing. If it is not present, we are going to send the attachment. We are going to store this attachment under external tracker table. Okay. Now let's go and then click the flow reporting enable, so that we can report that. So you just confirm that. Now let's go back to this ServiceNow. Right now I have 3 attachment here, and then under the JIRA I have 3 attachment. If I am attaching something, what should happen? It should save the attachment to the JIRA, and it should not cascade back. So let's I will just take the screenshot. So I have just attached one attachment. What should happen? And then let's put that something and then save that. What should be happen? It should initiate our flow, and then it should go. If I go back and if I go to this execution, you can see this JIRA story updated. It's called 4th time, and then it's look up the record and it's failed the first record because it's already present. Second record failed, third record failed, and fourth record it did not find out under this lookup external tracker. It sent a attachment and store to this our external tracker. So if I refresh that, you should be able to see one more record here. So let's see. So it should be 4 attachment. 4th number attachment should be visible. You can see the 4th attachment is showing, and this is the 4th attachment, our 4th attachment. If I go back to the flow designer also, under this flow designer, you can see it's also initiated our inbound request update, and you can see this 4th, all these 4 attachments are present to the external tracker, and that's the reason it did not cascade. Now, if I attach something into this from this JIRA, it should cascade back to the ServiceNow, and if I am attaching something into that ServiceNow, it should also send that to that JIRA. So it should be bidirectional attachment sending, and then external tracker is the tracker which is going to be maintain all these records wherever it is present. If you delete anything from that, and then it will start creating that. So this is the table, code table, which is going to be maintain both attachment ID, both attachment both the external and internal attachment ID and their sys ID. So that's it for today. If you have any question, let me know in my comment section. Thank you very much. Have a great day.